Donald Trump is capitalizing on the immigration issue in Germany, and he is apparently spreading some lies about the crime rate attributed to immigrants in the country. Now, in a recent tweet, he wrote the following: "The people of Germany are turning against their leadership as migration is rocking the already tenuous Berlin coalition. Crime in Germany is way up. Big mistake made all over Europe in allowing millions of people in who have so strongly and violently changed their culture." Now, if you look at the numbers, the actual data pertaining to crime in Germany, you'll notice that crime's actually at record lows. Official figures from last month show that the national crime rate fell 5% since last year in Germany, dropping to the lowest level since 1992. So also the number of crimes committed by non-German individuals, these are the immigrants, fell 23%. Now, there was a slight increase in a specific type of criminal activity in Germany. 2.5% increase in anti-Semitic attacks, with 94% of them committed by far-right German nationals. So yeah, most of the crime that's being committed right now, or the uptick in crime, is specifically related to far-right German nationals in the country. But,
okay, two things here. One is, when I saw that crime was down 5%, I said, well, look, to be fair, Merkel allowed over 1 million immigrants in 2015. So maybe there was a big spike up then, and then a little bit of a come down from that. No, crime's the lowest it's been since 1992. That's a long, long time. So what is this, as usual? A blatant, complete lie, not attached to even a nugget of truth. Where did Donald Trump get it from, by the way? As usual, it appears that Fox News did a segment on it with another right-wing pundit who was talking about, oh my God, Germany, they're in big trouble, their culture. So I'll get to that in a second, what that code word's for, although anyone can realize what it is. And the crime is up, and the people of Germany are so mad at Merkel, etc. And so Trump sees that and he's like, okay, that's it, perfect. And so now let's get to the second part. The racism, the clear, obvious racism. So Trump talking about how the culture of the immigrants has violently changed the culture of Germany. Well, where are the immigrants coming from? Africa and the Middle East, right? So now it's not true. So if it's not true, then why are you saying it? Because in his mind, the German culture is a good culture. Because, by the way, the Germans would never be violent. Okay, let that sink in. Look, Germany right now is largely left-wing, very left-wing compared to us here in the United States. Wonderful, God bless, I got nothing wrong with it. But the idea that Germans could not possibly be violent or have a bad culture, I don't have to explain why that's preposterous. But the real problem is the brown people coming into Germany and ruining their culture. Right?
Again,
with no facts whatsoever to back it up, other than your racism about their culture, which is actually a code word, obviously, for race and ethnicity. By the way, when Brian Kilmeade was talking about it on Fox News, the one that got Trump all worked up, he specifically said 1 million refugees coming in from the Middle East and Africa and Asia, and he talked about how the good people of Bavaria we're standing up against it. Bavaria is actually a part of Germany, not all of Germany, but Bavaria sounds very, white, like, oh, Bavaria versus Africa and the Middle East, right?
Yep. Well, look, this type of messaging unfortunately works. And you start to feel so hopeless while, talking about the facts, because for a huge portion of the population, facts don't matter. What matters more is emotion and fear. And so even though we gave you the statistics, even though we showed you that crime caused by immigrants is actually at an all-time low, it dropped by 23%, the majority of Germans do not want more immigration. They do not want it. 62% of Germans want to turn away asylum seekers at the border. Now look, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all like those on the Trump camp. It could just be that Merkel did actually accept a lot of refugees. And so maybe the people of Germany feel like, okay, we're at capacity, we've taken in a lot of immigrants. But I do know that some portion of those people have bought into the fear-mongering that you hear from, the far right, including people like Trump.
The other thing is, look, people are reluctant to accept change. So when all of a sudden your country changes a little bit and its complexion changes a little bit, then maybe you get thrown off by it. You're a little scared by it. It takes you a little while to adjust. But you're not scared by the actual crime because it's down, not up. You're not scared of anything that's actually happening. It's like every once in a while in America, they'll pass laws against Sharia law in places like Oklahoma. As if there are any Muslims in Oklahoma, let alone the Muslims are going to take over Oklahoma and institute Muslim Sharia law, right? So are the Africans, the Middle East, and people from the Middle East that came to Germany taking over Germany in any substantial way? No, but when they come in, there is a little bit of a shock. Hey, Germany looks a little different. So look, I'm trying to cut the people as much of a break as possible because I get that change can seem scary or unsettling. But the guys who use it for propaganda and stoke the demagoguery are the ones that I think are the real problems and issues here. And in the case of Trump, who, by the way, talks about his genes endlessly. I have really good genes. I have good genes, right? Some people have good genes and others don't. Okay, I'm like a smart person, and
if that's what good genes look like, I want really bad genes.
I hear you on that, sister. But his view of the world is based on genetics. It's based on race. He's proven it over and over again in how he's treated Latinos, Muslims, and blacks in this country. And now he's putting that on Germany as well and making up facts to go along with it.
Yeah. By the way, Interior Minister Horst Seehofer is known as this anti-immigrant politician in Germany. And even he admitted that crime is at historic lows in Germany. It's kind of incredible.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.